Welcome back, everybody. PulseChain, HEX family. What's going on? Good to see everybody. We're going to do a quick live stream today, just so you guys know I'm still alive. I'm not going anywhere. I've been here the whole time. Been here the past 3 years, and I have no intention of giving up anytime soon. 15 years, baby. I'm locked in with all you guys. So a lot of people are asking, is it a good time to invest in crypto? I mean, if you're brand new to crypto, that's usually one of the first questions people ask is, oh, I don't know if it's a good time. And they don't really ask that question at the highs, right? When things are hitting the all-time highs, when crypto is up 100x from the bottom, you get a lot less of that questioning of, is it a good time to buy? People just want to buy because everybody else bought. And it's literally confirmation bias. People feel so much more comfortable getting in after everybody's already gotten in because they need other people to confirm that their actions are reasonable. And you, the smart investor, need to do the opposite of that, right? What we're all doing here, everybody watching, is probably smarter than the average investor. And if you're new, we're about to teach you. But if you're the one that has conviction in something before the rest of the population sees it, if you identify an opportunity early, you don't have to worry about waiting to see if somebody else is going to buy, if it's okay to buy, or if it's safe because you're waiting for, confirmation from the plebs. And the masses are usually wrong. The masses are usually late. They're always late to the party, the laggards, right? To be an early adopter, you actually have to go against the grain and reprogram your mind and do what people are not doing, which is easier said than done. And I failed for years to realize that. Only in the past 3 or 4 years did I really, truly understand that you need to go against the grain, which is really hard when everybody's shouting at you saying, hey, you're such an idiot for buying this coin. How could you? I mean, look, never mind the fact that the whole market is down. Never mind the fact that we're still in a macro bear market. The Fed says they're going to raise rates 2 more times this year. We'll see. We'll see if they're bluffing or not, but there's a chance they will. So we're not out of the woods yet. But the really smart, savvy investors, you guys watching right now, that this smells like opportunity, right? If you reframe risk as opportunity, that is probably the best thing you can do in crypto. Not blindly, not just, every coin, not just aping into every coin with a white paper and a dream. You got to ask yourself what's actually good out there, and do you believe in the product? And why do you believe in the product? Do you believe in the product just because a bunch of other people do already? Because we're all fans? Because I think that's why a lot of people rage quit. I think that's probably why a lot of people rage quit. They bought into the coin just because other people were so gung-ho and so passionate about it, and they saw this big community and they wanted to fit in, and they felt like they were fitting in. And then it's like the Pikachu meme, right? It's like price dips 60-70% and they're just like, oh my god, how could this happen? Like as if it was a straight shot up and to the right, even though we've been screaming and beating on this drum for years now that there's going to be a dip after launch, and this is your dip. So yeah, you're either buying or you're crying. And some people didn't know the game they were playing, and they're getting a harsh slap to reality right now. And that's okay, because guys, I'm not trying to pick on anybody. If you're new to crypto, you actually need those learning lessons. And sometimes you need them in real life. You need to experience them. There's only so much people can say on the internet to warn people about, hey, crypto really is the most volatile asset ever. I mean it. It's like, okay, sure. But when you're holding through it, it does not feel so good, does it? It's really, really hard. I mean, even for me, right? I still have to remind myself every now and then not to get carried away. I'm pretty good at buying the dip at this point, but my problem is now in the bull market when it comes back. Now I need to check myself and make sure I'm not aping into shit coins or buying the top, or just, getting sucked into these little side games in these alleyways of the internet. People got their shit coins all day for you. They got plenty of them. And I get very tempted on that. So I'm sticking to what's tried and true and what I'm fully sold on, because I understand it at a deep internal level. And that's how you guys can all learn how to, hold through the dips and even buy more and have conviction in your beliefs by actually understanding the value proposition of what you hold. And this is the time to do that, right? After you do that, you can onboard more people. You can pump all of our bags and make this pie bigger together, right? Because wealth creation is a positive sum game. Trading is a zero sum game. But if we all tell more people about this ecosystem, the more people that get on board, it literally creates wealth for everybody. Everybody can have a piece of the pie, but we're making bigger pies here. You know what I mean? We're not all fighting for a bigger piece of the same size pie. That is trading. That's a zero sum game, or even a negative sum game, right? Depending on how you look at it. But really, if everybody, think about it, if everybody just bought and held the coins that we all like, that are tried and true, that are safe, that abide by true self-custody, true self-ownership, the true principles of original crypto, not your keys, not your coins, censorship resistant, peer-to-peer money. If everyone just bought and held good stuff, doesn't even have to be HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. It could be Bitcoin, Ethereum too. A couple other coins out there. There's a handful of good coins out there that if everyone just bought and held and told more people about it instead of wasting time playing mini games, losing all their money day trading or trying to do going down dead end roads left and right, we'd all be a lot farther along by now. If people didn't just cop out and do meme coin shitcoinery, people didn't try to get bored and just make Floki, Inu, Shiba, Elon, Doge, Mars coin, then I think we would actually be farther along and crypto would be less of a joke. I mean, people look at crypto like a joke because, let's be honest, there's a whole page full of meme coins on CoinMarketCap that I can list you right now, named after pretty much every dog breed that I can think of. And people get bored of that, but people really are dumb enough to come into the space and be like, oh, Pitbull coin. I like pit bulls, derp, bye. And then, they're on to the next thing in 2 weeks. They're chasing the next meme coin, right? Oh, Pepe, cool. It's like, how long is that going to last? Might last a couple months. I mean, Pepe might be a stronger meme than most, right? It might have a couple months in it, but it's shiny object syndrome and it's a pop culture thing where 2 weeks later, you're on to the next trendy little subject. Let's say what's up to the chat. Hey, what's going on? Hey, finally I catch you live. What's up, Troy? Hex Force Kaiser, always good to see you. Timothy Harris, how the heck am I? I am heckin' good, sir. Wade Emery, what's up? How you doing? Element Hex, coffee you rock, bro. Thank you so much. T Gray says, coffee, your stuff last night with Cabana. Great stuff last night with Cabana. You're a streaming beast. Thank you. I know I have to be more of a streaming beast because I haven't streamed in a week. But I have been doing course updates in the background, guys. So keep an eye out in a couple of months, probably 1 or 2 months at the most. I'm going to have my new Hex Passive Income course, which you guys, a lot of you guys in the chat are professional. Like, you guys know what you're doing. This is a course for brand new newbies, and it's going to have an affiliate program. It's going to be affordable, not free though, because we want people to actually take the course and they value things more when, you charge them a little money for it. So they're 10 times more likely to take the course if you charge a little money. And if you sell my course on behalf of me, you get a 40% profit split. And I think the course is going to cost around $200, $300. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be a great onboarding tool. It's worth way more than an hour of my time. People always ask me, hey, do you do consulting for an hour? I'm like, just take my course, bro. You can rewatch it. It's all jam-packed information, all neatly organized from zero to hero. You can know nothing about cryptocurrency. And if you don't know anything at all, the course is designed for you. But I'm shilling something that I haven't even fully built yet. So keep an eye out for course V2 coming soon. I'm just saying that's what I've been doing in the background lately, because now's the time, guys. Now's the time to onboard people. I don't want to be onboarding people in the top of the bull market. I want to be onboarding people right about now. Just like I failed to buy HEX at 0.06. Yeah. Did it even go that low? Dang. Maybe it wicks down that low. Yeah, I had a limit order at 003. RC King, but I don't think that one hit, and I think it expired. Actually, I got to go check. PortalXSwap.io has great limit orders, guys. You don't even have to pay anything at all to set the limit order. You just sign a message and you only execute the transaction if it gets hit. So it's free. They got free limit orders to set. Only 3 likes. Yeah, what the hell, guys? I thought you liked me. I thought you guys were my friends. Just kidding. I don't care. But yeah, smash the like. It helps the algorithm. Randy, what's going on, bro? Getting his truck dieseled up and checking in. Randy, we got to do a stream soon, man. I miss you, bro. How's Panama? I hope everything is good out there. Randy's in the house. Red Squirrel, of course, is in the house. Of course he's in the house. Red Squirrel's he's always got his little stash of nuts in the house. Let's get Waters Above on the channel next. On the channel, since he was about HEX. Yeah, I've had him on 3 times now. We could have him on again, but last time I had him on was about 2 months ago. And yeah, a lot of his predictions have been pretty accurate. So we could probably try to do that again. I know a lot of people like him. There's a lot of overlap between our communities. Waters Above is a cool dude. What's Red Squirrel? High five. T-Bird. T-Bird is here. T-Bird. What's up, bro? T-Bird's a Twitter master. Peter Furlong says, Axis Alive predicted another drop. Are you aligned with his analysis? Dude, I don't really waste too much time analyzing the charts these days. I'm building a course to onboard more people, and I think that's 10 times more important than just looking at the day to day. When I'm in it for the long term, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about if we're gonna go another leg down or up in the next week or two. We had a nice recovery though, didn't we? Really nice recovery, guys. Look at that green candle. EHEX is back up to a penny. All those people that said EHEX was gonna die, I don't hear so much from them anymore. I don't hear you guys when EHEX is back up to a penny. And EHEX, I mean, we closed the gap actually on EHEX HEX. But now we opened the gap again. HEX on PulseChain is still currently 40% higher than HEX on Ethereum, but they're both maintaining value. And it looks to be that the ratio is settling at around 1.4, right? What's the inverse of 1.4? 1.4. 1 over 1.4. 70%. 0.7. The ratio is right back up to 0.7, guys. All it took was one good green day. And guys, just don't sleep on EHEX, guys. Don't sleep on EHEX, and be very, very careful if you're thinking about dumping it. There's hexicans and there's hexicants. That's right, dip catcher. Hexicans and hexicants. And there's buyers and criers. Highest of stakes documentary can't come soon enough. Crypto Artie, I'm not going to say I've got any insider info on that, but I will say that I'm very highly hopeful, and I'm very highly optimistic that something will be happening with that pretty soon. Just a random guess, just a random wild guess. But I know, a little bit delayed. Highest of stakes documentary, a little bit delayed, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. You got to trust the process here. Just trust the process. Buy and hold, boys and girls. Don't fall for the FUD. Yep, that's good advice. Guys, I'm hoping I can teach you guys something on this stream. I always hope that you learn something new when you watch the channels. So let's go into just the macro, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the micro environment in HEX and PulseChain land, in the ecosystem. And then we'll talk about some cool links and tools that maybe you might not know about in terms of how to buy HEX and all that stuff, or statistics or anything like that. So what's going on? It's good to see green candles. I'm in a good mood. I'm sure everybody else is too. We withstood the dip of all dips, the mother of all dips. And we could see one more leg down, but I think we could have a good month or two before the Fed raises rates again. So let's talk about the Fed. On the Federal Reserve meeting, inflation has come down since since May of last year. Inflation's falling down to, I think, 4.1%, which is lower than expectations, meaning that that's bullish. People like that. And it doesn't mean that inflation is solved. And it doesn't even mean that inflation has dropped down to 4.1%. It just means that compared to this time last year, that's the difference between this time on May of last year. So inflation in general, if you accumulate inflation over the course of the year, we still have crazy high inflation. So it's not like it's really under control at all. And they're trying to get down to that 2% mark. Remember, the Federal Reserve wants to get down to 2% inflation. So once we see those numbers, we're moving towards them right now. And essentially, the Federal Reserve, after getting the CPI inflation numbers, said that, hey, we're going to pause raising rates. We're not going to raise rates this month, but we still want to raise rates 2 more times before the end of the year. And they've got 6 more months to raise rates 2 more times. But then there's some leaked documents out there that show that they fully intend to start lowering rates in 2024, which means 2024 is going to be a bullish year, maybe a sideways year, maybe not the most bullish year ever, but it's going to be a shifting of the tides, I believe. I predict, right? Could be wrong, but that's my prediction. Now, the real question is in the near term, right? The 6 months from now, is the Fed bluffing, right? Somi is like, your friend Somi, our friend Somi. He claims, he's thinking the Fed's bluffing. And I don't know. It might be bluffing. They might be bluffing just so that they don't pump the markets too hard, right? Because people get really antsy. People react quickly to the news of whatever the Federal Reserve is doing. So because they paused rates, a lot of people are perceiving that as being, oh, wait, is the Fed bullish again? Can we buy? Should we go buy a bunch of crypto and stonks and everything's going back up again and green candles every day? And I think, the Federal Reserve needs to be very careful about what they say so that doesn't happen and people don't, they're trying to diminish the volatility. So it would be a good convenient lie to say, hey, we're going to raise rates 2 more times. And then inflation numbers come out next month, they're a little bit lower. Inflation numbers come out in August, they're a little bit lower. And then they say, by September, November, they're like, oh, we don't really need to raise rates anymore. The inflation came down enough, so we're just gonna keep the pause going until 2024. Now that's wishful thinking. Obviously, that's wishful thinking, but it's also a possibility. So you got to be prepared for both outcomes. Either way, if the Fed does raise rates, they're probably not going to do so till August. And if they're not raising rates, hey, that's even better. I think one of the only reasonable things I could say with relative confidence is that this summer looks pretty good. I mean, in terms of June and July, maybe not August, but June and July might be a semi-bullish month or two. So enjoy it, and then don't be surprised if we do have another leg down. I don't know if that's going to mean all-time lows again or local lows again, but we might have another dip buying opportunity near the end of the year in 2023. So what else is going on in the macro? Well, crypto legislation. Yeah, everyone's trying to figure out, the Warren bill was just proposed to Congress to fire Gary Gensler, which I am all for. I think that man needs to get out of office as soon as possible. He's ruining our bags, guys. He's fudding our bags, bro, and it's not cool, man. Let's see. Fire Gary Gensler, Warren. Okay. So U.S. lawmakers filed the SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. This is interesting. U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. Representative Warren Davidson wrote in reference to the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler. And I agree. I mean, he's a tyrant. He's drunk with power. He's just trying to climb up the corporate ladder. He's little man, little Gary with his Napoleon syndrome. He just wants to be cool. He wants to be in with his homies, and his homies are the powers that be, who basically hate you. They have no interest in actually protecting investors, because if they did, they would change the exact rules of, all kinds of things. Accredited investor rules are way out of date. You got to be rich to get more rich. I don't think so. It's not related to education at all. There should be a test, right? If you want to be an accredited investor and you pass a test to prove that you know about finance, I think everybody should be able to invest in anything they want. I believe in the true open markets. I believe in true libertarianism, really, which is free markets. Let the markets decide. Let the markets teach people. If they invested in a bad product, that's on the person. That's on the individual and their responsibility. And we don't need a government to protect us. We don't need, Daddy SEC to come in and tell us what we can and can't be investing in, because what, are we just children now? Like, it's embarrassing and it's offensive that they even think that we need protections. Okay. So let the markets, let the people decide. If they want to invest in scams, that's their prerogative, and learn the hard way, learn from experience, right? And where were they to protect investors from SBF? Millions, billions of dollars got lost in Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX scam. They were nowhere to be found. They were having backdoor deals and in bed with each other while the whole thing was happening. They were going to make FTX a monopoly on the market and trying to basically weed out all the competition and fence out, Binance, who they're now suing, Coinbase, who they're now suing. They've sued Gemini, Kraken. So everyone's pissed off at them. The Winklevoss twins, Jerome Powell, or the Powell guy, not Jerome Powell. There's a different Powell that's the head of Kraken, right? He got sued pretty hard. He's pissed off at the SEC. Brian Armstrong is suing them back because they've got a big war chest. So go Brian. Brian Giga Chad Armstrong. He's fighting for crypto. He's fighting for your rights, your right to transact. So big fan of that guy, even though he's not listing HEX. That's okay. It's probably a good thing, right? Because all of the SEC's, basically, guys, when the SEC went after Coinbase, they tried to call, 5 or 10 different tokens that they were listing securities violations, unregistered securities. And those were all mainstream coins. So for all you people begging and praying that HEX and PulseChain are listed on more centralized exchanges, well, it's kind of a good thing they weren't listed on Coinbase, right? Kind of a good thing, kind of a silver lining that they weren't listed on Coinbase, because basically, they would have been subject to this Coinbase lawsuit. And all the coins that were targeted by the SEC through these enforcement actions, it's kind of like a covert way to enforce regulations. They're suing Coinbase for these 7 or 8 unregistered securities, they claim. And so it's a way to go after a whole bunch of coins at once without going after them individually. And it's really disgusting. It's really a blatant abuse of power And it's hurting everyone's bags because now everybody's scared to hold these coins, because if they're unregistered securities and they can't be listed on exchanges, they can't be listed on unlicensed exchanges because unlicensed exchanges don't want to take that risk, or licensed exchanges. Now, of course, they can all be listed on DEXs, decentralized exchanges, but people are just scared. And so everyone's bags are down massively right now. People holding, what was it, Solana, Matic, some other big ones. Shit really hit the fan, and it's not so funny when the SEC comes for your bags, is it, boys? All you HEX and PulseChain haters out there, it's not so funny when the SEC calls for regulation on your bags. Everybody was laughing and pointing fingers. Oh my God, the SEC is going after HEX. Well, guess what? They didn't find shit about HEX because there's nothing to find. There's no company. There's no guy to go after. It's not a security. It fails the Howey test. So they gave up on HEX. So it seems, knock on wood. And, I haven't heard anything in months. And they're going after people that are actually centralized companies, which in a way makes sense, because the whole idea of crypto, if you're really an open source decentralized project, you don't have a single point of failure to go after. You don't have a foundation or a company to go after, or a single man, or a guy to say, hey, he's the guy, he's the head of the company, Ripple Incorporated, right? That's why it's easy to go after all these companies. It's an oxymoron to even have a crypto company. If you're doing crypto the right way, it's decentralized. There is no company. That's why it's so hard to explain to people. And it's so paradigm shifting that we're decentralizing money, that people need to try to understand, well, who's in control? And it's like, well, with Bitcoin, nobody. With HEX, nobody's in control. Not even Richard's in control. He can't shut it off if he wanted to. It's out there now. HEX is out there on the blockchain, whether you like it or not. Yeah, people can sell a whole bunch of coins, but nobody can change the code. It's immutable, cannot be changed. And that's the beauty of it too. There's nobody to take it down. There's nobody hosting HEX anywhere. It's hosted on the blockchain. It will live there forever as long as Ethereum keeps running. And it seems like Ethereum got a pass too. It kind of seems like Ethereum got a little bit of a pass. I mean, we've got whispers of Gary Gensler from way back when. People have transcripts of him saying that he doesn't believe that Ethereum is a security. And he chose not to go after Ethereum in the most latest Coinbase lawsuit as well. They're also pushing Binance out of the USA, which it's not like Binance was ever our friend. So, I mean, good riddance to them if they have to leave. But the message that they're sending overall is just not a good message. It's a message that the USA is not a safe place to do cryptocurrency business. And it's not a place to be free and to execute your freedom of speech. And it's really, really sad. And I hope it turns around because, I hope people like Robert F. Kennedy can get into office and upend all these corrupt institutions and regulation agencies that are all in bed with each other. People that worked at the SEC used to work at the Federal Reserve and vice versa, just like people that work at the FDA used to work at Monsanto and vice versa. People that worked at Pfizer used to work at the CDC and vice versa. It's so fucking corrupt. Like, it blows my mind. I don't even want to get into all that stuff right now. Let's go talk about crypto again, shall we? Let's talk about crypto again. So, yeah, BlackRock. BlackRock's been buying BTC for a long time. We've known that. It's no secret. They want to get their slimy little tentacles into everything. So they're buying a bunch of Bitcoin on the way down. And, they're setting up this trust. They just submitted a proposal for an iShares trust to make a Bitcoin spot traded ETF, meaning an exchange traded fund, meaning that this would open up exposure for all of Wall Street with redemption rights to be able to trade Bitcoin back and forth. So it's different than it would be different than GBTC, I believe, if it gets approved. They have a very high approval rate, 98%. So a lot of people are very bullish, thinking that it will get approved, and this will be a catalyst. Conveniently right before the next Bitcoin halving will be a catalyst to kick off the next bull market. When you add on top of that the fact that BlackRock, after they're done buying, is going to shill their bags to dump on retail's heads, they might actually help us spur off this bull market. And it's not really good to be in Bitcoin because when BlackRock is dumping on your head, but it is good to be in smaller, newer, better technologies, PulseChain, HEX, PulseX, that are safe, 100% uptime, immutable, not going to get hacked, and so much more upwards price potential. And they're not even on the radar of BlackRock yet. That's what you want. By the time BlackRock is buying HEX, guys, I'm going to be selling at that point. When BlackRock is buying HEX, they can buy it from me. Okay. Crypto Keeper says $4.99. Thank you for the tip. Do you believe we are now in the bull market? Also, we are still early 300x minimum top IMO in the bull. Also, how come you're only in Chicago for PLS tour? I might be in Denver as well, but that's because I'm from here. A lot of questions there. 300x minimum is pretty reasonable. That'd be cool from the bottom. I think that's definitely definitely a minimum price target. So it's not crazy to think that, especially when you're measuring from the dip, from the local dips that we just had. So do I believe we're in the bull market now? I think it's too early to say. That transition point between bull and bear is hard to say, right? Some people will not say that we're in a bull market until we break all-time highs on Bitcoin again, which is, in my opinion, too late. I think we're still in a risk-off environment, but we're in this critical accumulation zone is what I think. I feel like it's really your last chance to get your ticket before the train leaves the station. All right. You want to get your seat on the rocket ship before we take off to the moon. I don't believe we're in the bull market, to answer your question, but I believe 2024 is probably going to be here. Okay. So thank you for the tip. And yeah, Chicago will be great if you guys are going to be here for the PLS PulseChain tour. PulseChainTour.com if you. Timothy Harris, thank you for the tip. Where are you? I already have you pulled up. Absolutely fantastic to see you on today. Thanks, Timothy. You're the man, bro. This guy's a great patron of mine. He's off in the Discord all the time. We're chatting it up. If you guys want to join my Discord or join my Patreon, it helps support the channel. Totally optional, but link in description below. Plus, you get some free content and my one-on-one attention if you have any questions. Because quite honestly, there's not enough time in the day to answer everybody's questions. 0x Coast is live. Guys, let's talk about this. Go to 0xcoast.com and you can sign up for the beta today if you live in the United States. And then more specifically, if you go to app.0xcoast.com, you can actually sign up for the beta right now. Let me tell you guys, I've signed up for the beta and it works amazingly well. It works flawlessly. I mean, it's so easy. You just connect your bank account and instantly transfer as much money as you want. I mean, I haven't pushed it to the limit yet, but yeah, you could transfer a couple tens of thousands of dollars. Kind of similar to Coinbase style, right? Like I don't know what the maximum order size is, but let's see. 100. Well, that's too much. I'm on the page right now. Let's see what would happen if I tried to add $100 million. Buy $96 million. Oops. That didn't work. It's probably because I just don't have that in my bank account. So yeah, I don't want to test with these crazy high dollar amounts, but you can pretty much buy however much you want, assuming that you're working with, probably less than $100,000, right? You link your bank account, you can link a credit card, or you can do a wire transfer, all directly from your bank, or Visa or Mastercard only for credit cards, and you can buy and sell USDC immediately, like instantaneously, straight from your bank account to your MetaMask wallet, all within app.0xcoast.com. Guys, this is going to be such a game changer, and they're going to release their CST native stablecoin to PulseChain pretty soon. But for right now, the beta is only offering USDC issued directly to Ethereum. So this is one of the greatest, guys. I can't stress this enough. This is one of the biggest innovations or biggest projects coming to PulseChain. Okay, and the beta is out right now, so go there right now. I'll share my screen right now. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Share screen. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Your money on PulseChain. So yeah, it's live. Create an account. You can sign up with Google or your email. They've got different products, roadmaps, markets, and news. They're an on-ramp, off-ramp, stable coin, and they give you your own digital account, basically. Your own mini, you can think of it as a mini bank account that you can just swap your stables back and forth between real US dollars and tokenized US dollars. USDC on Ethereum and Coast stablecoin on PulseChain. Again, the Coast stablecoin is not out yet, and there's a native bridge, so you can bridge back and forth between PulseChain and Ethereum too. It's PulseChain's most trusted on-ramp. They got liquidity, redemption. They're working with Prime Trust as their banking partner, built for PulseChain users specifically, so it's going to be great. And they've also got some other tokens out, Wait, Tide, and Rise. Wait is the token that, guys, if you buy 100,000 of this token, you get much discounted fees, it looks like. So if you buy 100,000 Wait token and you stake it in their protocol, the fee goes from 4% down to 1%. So Not a terrible deal. I mean, they're going to be making money, obviously, but it's pretty much the easiest way to recommend people to get their money into the ecosystem. I cannot wait to start shilling this at a mass scale. They've got news, beta's now live, applying the Lindy effect to cryptocurrency. Yeah, they've got articles you can read, and you can just subscribe to their newsletter as well. It's built for the PulseChain community, guys. It's awesome. Built directly for us. What more could you ask for, right? What more could you ask for? Oh, we've got another tip. Thank you so much, Crypto Keeper. It was asking for social security on Coast. Yeah, well, it's a KYC platform for sure. It's like a bank account, right? When you set up a bank account, you need to provide that information. So it's not KYC free, unfortunately. I don't know of any fiat on ramp directly that doesn't require KYC. Those are the laws in America. So unfortunate, but that's just the world we're living in. So yeah, it does ask for that. It's something that you got to be prepared for. The markets. Let's look at the markets, huh? Here, if you want to see if it's coming to your country, it's starting with America, which is great because America is one of the hardest countries to get approvals in because you need to get approvals in every single state, and you need to have what do they call it? You need to have security deposits or surety bonds that are called to be a money transmitter in every single state in the USA. You need a surety bond, which could be upwards of $200,000 to $400,000 per state. So if you want to maintain money transmitter licenses in every state, it's really, really expensive to do that. But 0x Coast is getting around that because they're using their banking partner, Prime Trust, as the money transmitter, and they stay outside of the flow of funds, which is amazing. So they're cutting the corners basically in all the legal right ways. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just making it easier, and they're setting up the simplest, most efficient on-ramp from a structural standpoint in the United States. But look at the countries on here, guys. The market in the USA is 208 million, Canada 31 million. So Australia, Brazil, and Canada are pending. They're pending approval. It's already approved in the United States and the United Kingdom. That's great. And they're planning for Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Germany, Spain, and Mexico, Netherlands, Lithuania, Estonia, France, Italy, Singapore, and Philippines. So yeah, guys, this is awesome. Pending means they're waiting on a response from local regulators. Planning means they're analyzing how to get their model to apply to the local regulations. This is really, really incredible. Shout out to Stoic and all the guys at the Coast team. I mean, I'm testing it out right now. I think you all can too, as long as you're in the USA. I've got nothing but good things to say. It's linked to a bank account. Yeah, this is an answer. This is a direct answer to that question. If it's linked to a bank, it's basically like you're opening a bank account, but it's a simple bank account that instantaneously converts your money from your bank into USDC or Coast stablecoin soon on PulseChain. There's no wait times. Like Coinbase, there's a 7-day withdrawal time. There's none of that. It instantly just shows up in your wallet right away. That's the beauty of it. So this is going to be a seamless on-ramp to get millions of dollars to flow into the PulseChain ecosystem. I don't think some people realize yet how bullish that is. I mean, it's a 4-step process to get into Ethereum or to get into PulseChain right now. You got to buy it on Coinbase or Kraken. You got to send it over to MetaMask. You got to bridge it from bridge Ethereum from MetaMask into PulseChain. And then you got to buy Pulse using the Ethereum that you bridged in. That's a 4-step process, and it's not easy. Okay. It might be the most efficient way in terms of fees right now, but that really sucks, right? It's a 4-step process to get into PulseChain. This is going to be basically a 1-step process once it exists on PulseChain. Right now, you can buy USDC directly with dollars, though. It shows up right in your MetaMask. I'm going to be using it just in the future in place of a Coinbase. I mean, it makes my life easier than using Coinbase. Plus, if you have a fresh wallet and you don't have any Ethereum for gas yet, you can just go to matcha.xyz and do a gasless transaction. So let's say you buy $100 of USDC in a fresh wallet. Take that over to matcha.xyz and convert your USDC directly to Ethereum without the need for any gas at all. And that can be your initial, gas fee reserves for everything else. So pretty awesome, guys. The innovations happening in crypto are beautiful right now, especially in the PulseChain ecosystem. It's going to be groundbreaking. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, so we talked about the macro. BlackRock, the SEC is suing everybody out there. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're suing everybody out here. And what else? Oh yeah, the CPI and the Fed. We talked about that. Let's dive into the actual ecosystem itself, guys. I talked about weight. The weight token, you need 100,000 coins if you want to get cheaper fees. I'd recommend it. PHUX is coming out. PHUX, if you guys sacrifice for fiat and famous, PHIAT and then PHAMOUS, it's famous with a PH and fiat with a PH. If you sacrifice for either of these projects, these are a fork of Aave and a fork of GMX, which is basically decentralized borrowing and lending protocol and a decentralized leverage trading protocol. They're like the darlings of the crypto Ethereum ecospace, and we're copy and pasting them onto PulseChain, basically. It's not that simple, but shout out to Buck from Buck Fiat, from the Fiat team. And he is releasing Balancer Fork as well, which is essentially deep liquidity pools for different groups of coins that are commonly traded together. So stablecoin pools in particular, right? If you want to trade 50, and this is like for whales too. So PHUX is a fork of Balancer. What is Balancer? It's deep liquidity in specialized liquidity pools, primarily for whales. And if you're trading, let's say you want to swap 500,000 USDC for 500,000 DAI. Well, if you try to do that on PulseX, you're going to be eating, 10% slippage, which is awful, right? You're going to be paying $50,000 in fees. But if you do it on Balancer, or if you do it on phux.io, you can only pay $700 in fees for a $500,000 transaction. It's much, much more efficient. And then the people putting up their liquidity to use, they get paid interest from trading fees in the process. And you can stake the PHUX token to get 50% of a revenue share from all the fees generated. So if you're wondering if you have the PHUX airdrop, they airdropped it to every PulseChain and PulseX sacrificer. So go check on fatty.io. All their stuff begins with a PH, okay? So go check on fatty.io to see if you qualify for the phux.io airdrop. I'll post that in the chat. Fatty.io. Check your PLS SAC wallet to see if you qualify for phux.io airdrop. All right, check that out in the chat, guys. If you're wondering, there might be some free money for you. It's your lucky day. I got like 20,000 PHUX coins, and you could dump them if you want, but I'm definitely going to be holding mine, probably staking them in the protocol just to earn passive income. Seems like a no-brainer to me, guys. Seems like a no-brainer to me. So check it out. And also later on, about a week from now, if you sacrifice for famous or if you sacrifice for fiat, you're going to get even more free coins. Buck's giving away everything for free, like Oprah Winfrey. Okay. You get free coins. You get free coins. So if you qualify for that too, just wait a week and they're going to take care of all that stuff. All right. You got to go mint them from your sacrifice wallet at that point, not your PulseChain sacrifice wallet. Those coins are available now, but in a week from now, go to your fiat and famous sacrifice wallet, connect it to fatty.io, and see how many coins you got waiting for you over there. All right. Small Bunny says, you make dope content. Thank you so much, Small Bunny. That's really nice to hear. I really like the compliments. Every 10 compliments makes up for one hater compliment. So I really appreciate you guys. Yo, Coffee, what's up? How you doing, IB19? What's going on, friends? Yep, free money raining down on us all around. Hallelujah. Free money time, baby. And then Liquid Loans is coming out soon. PortalX Swap is going to be merging with PulseChain and their multi-chain bridge very soon, a couple of weeks. Earn Protocol is going to be coming out probably in 2 months. Pixel Park NFT platform, Mintra NFT platform, all coming in about probably 2 months. What else? I mean, there's so much stuff being built that if you're not bullish on this ecosystem right now, it's just going to be good news after good news after good news. And the real good news is that we got a dip right now, boys and girls. So if you're not capitalizing on this dip, you are going to miss out on all the hype pumps from all the future projects being released, all the future ecosystem developments, and even on PulseX, right? Innovations being added to PulseX all the time. The auto router, Richard Hart just tweeted, by the way, if you haven't heard about this, the auto router that Uniswap uses today is being implemented into the PulseX protocol too, meaning that you're going to have a lot less slippage, a lot better order execution, basically cheaper transaction fees. for if you want to swap coin A for coin B or coin B for coin C, it'll find the most efficient route and it'll save you the most money. You'll get the most bang for your buck on those trades. So that's something that Uniswap has had for a long time, and it's coming to PulseX near you very, very soon. It seems to be almost ready. After that, Richard has hinted at potentially adding more INC pairs, more yield farms. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Really hoping he adds that HEX EHEX yield farm. Richard, if you're listening, please. I think the dumpers have dumped, bro. Richard, please. Please give me my EHEX HEX yield farm. I want to bond my liquidity together and make more INC and support the price of both coins, both hexes, because they're both going to survive, right, everyone? Right, everyone. So yeah, that's my prayer to Richard. Maybe I'll write him a letter. I think he lives at the North Pole like Santa Claus, so it might take a while to get there. But yeah, he's hinted at adding more INC farms. If I was Richard, which I'm not, he's a smarter man than I in crypto for sure. But I would be trying to incentivize the ERC20, PRC20 pairs on Uniswap V2, and I would try to be incentivizing all the other pairs on Uniswap V1. I'm sorry, PulseX V1, PulseX V2, PulseX V1. I misspoke. So the reason for that is that PulseX V2, you actually make transaction fees, which can make up for impermanent loss. And I've heard of people right now that are doing EHEX HEX pairing liquidity bonding on PulseX V2, and they're still making money even without INC. They're just making so much money on transaction fees that they're like, wait, guys, why the hell isn't everybody doing this right now? Like, why isn't everyone doing this? I'm making money even without INC. It would just be like a dream if there was an INC pool as well on top of that. And I'd love if he incentivized EHEX HEX on the V2 pool. I can't expect that. No expectations from work of others, right? But he did hint at adding potentially more yield farms. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I think that would be like the logical. He had it originally, but he pulled it because so many degens were aping into yield farms and emergency end staking their hex, right? You still want to have a staking ladder, guys. You still want to have a staking ladder. I'm still going to be 95% staked. I just want to do this little yield farm to back the value of anybody that wants to convert their hex into EHEX or convert their EHEX into hex. I want to be on either side of that trade because I'm making fees either way. And I am predicting that the ratio between the two will be range bound. Seems to have found a bottom. So hopefully we're range bound somewhere between 0.6 and 0.9, EHEX per hex. Maybe 1.1 to 1.4. Fingers crossed. Maybe 1.5. Yeah, fingers definitely crossed on that because, anybody can dump their EHEX at any moment. But we've already seen, I think the majority of EHEX dumpers have dumped. I'm not seeing as many emergency unstakes these days. I'm still seeing some, but not as many as there were last week. So, yeah, I think the plebs and the non-believers have been rinsed out, guys. I think we need to shun the non-believer. Shun the non-believer, Charlie. Shun. What else is Richard hinted at? Let me see Richard Hart's tweets. So no expectations and promises from the work of others, guys, of course. But, yep, the auto router's almost done. And let's see. Concern trolls. Yep, always concern trolls. Privacypools.com is a fork of Tornado Cash. Something to keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on for sure if you like privacy. And it seems like Richard was also hinting at adding some privacy stuff. Maybe he's going to fork privacy pools. I don't know. Maybe he will. He just might be crazy enough to do it. Let's see. Everything in crypto is down, guys. Don't feel bad. Everyone in Solana is wrecked too, guys. I think you're in the right place. I know it feels bad, but I think you're in the place with more potential. When everyone's down 95%, you just need to pick what's going to bounce back harder with more potential. And I think I choose to pick the coin with the giant community behind it, with the objectively better products being built for it. Dun, dun. Yep, Richard Hart. Things I'd love to see. 1, auto router. Seems like auto router's done. 2, more farms. Wink, wink. 3, go.hex.com improvements. That'd be nice. It'd be nice if go.hex.com actually fucking loaded and it didn't take 2 minutes to load. Yeah, a lot of people complain about go.hex.com not working. It does work. So here's how you get it to work. You be in PulseChain, be connected to PulseChain in your MetaMask first before anything else. If go.hex.com isn't working, do these things. Go to MetaMask, make sure you're on the PulseChain network. Open a new tab and go to go.hex.com fresh from the start. Go right to the homepage. Once you're on the homepage on go.hex.com, wait for all the data to load. It's going to take maybe 30 seconds to a minute to load all the data. And then from the homepage, click on the stake tab. If you're going directly to the stake tab and you're not going to the homepage first, we've had a lot of people having issues with loading, thinking it doesn't work. And it is really slow. It works. It's just very, very slow. It's kind of shitty. I've been using app.icosta.pro, guys. I've just been, because I want to mint my free Hedron anyway. And if you don't know about Hedron yet, guys, you're missing out. You are really missing out. I'm going to have Jooyoung the Hexakin. Not Jooyoung Kim. I'm going to have Jooyoung the Hexakin on, and we're going to talk about HSI Watch, and we're going to talk about the Hedron ecosystem, because there's a lot of new people out there that might not know about the Hedron ecosystem yet. Going back to Richard, number 3, go.hex.com improvements. Number 4, some privacy stuff. Guys, how badass would it be to have privacy on PulseChain from the start, from the get-go? I would love that. I don't like people fucking my bags. I don't like it, guys. It's not cool. All right. So privacy stuff would be great. I know there's Hurry Cash right now, but I don't think those it's a cool protocol. It's a fork of Tornado Cash, but there's not enough people using it yet for it to be really effective. HSI Watch. Yeah, people love HSI Watch, right? Right. What else? What else? Boys and girls. Okay, bro. Goodbye. Goodbye. Someone doesn't agree politically, so they're not going to watch me anymore. Oh no, whatever will I do? Whatever will I do without that little sad viewer boy? I think I'll survive. I think I'll be just fine. Go.hex.com does need to work. Hasn't been loading for me. Yeah, I think it's totally broken for some people. Certain people, hit and miss. I like the stats on hex.com better than icosa.pro. Yeah, the stats are way more better on go.hex.com, but that's why it takes longer to load, is because there's so much more data to load. You know, app.icosa.pro just cuts down all the fluff and kind of leaves you just with the bare basics that you need, and it has the mint Hedron button, which is pretty nice too. Coffee, how was your sailing lessons last week? Thanks for asking. I'm a sailor now. I learned how to sail, so got a sailboat. I'm renting a sailboat. I didn't buy one. You never buy a boat, right? Because they say the best days of boat ownership are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. So I'm just renting it for the summer. Much, much cheaper. So much cheaper. And super fun. Super fun. It's really great in Chicago. Got a good windy lake. The Windy City, right? Love your work. Thank you so much. Any thought on Staker app? Thanks. Staker app is okay. It's got a pretty cool UI update lately with Staker app. It basically does all the exact same stuff that it used to do. There's a big UI update and a big backend overhaul, but as far as the functionality for the end user, not a whole lot has really changed. I mean, yeah, you can flip flop between PulseChain and Ethereum networks. Let's see. Yeah, you can flip flop between the different networks. You can see your balances on both chains. It's not like, look, there's an app called Hex Scout coming up pretty soon that I'm pretty excited for. I hope it has a referral program, because if it's better than GoStaker.com, I will happily switch my allegiance to promoting that one primarily. Right, I'm going to promote the best stuff that we have right now. So Staker app right now is the best we've got in terms of a portfolio tracker. It's not perfect. I really wish that it would incorporate, the perpetuals, HSIs, and all that kind of stuff. I don't even have any HSIs, right? But I know a lot of people do. So it'd be nice if they were incorporated. I think I have a good feeling about Hex Scout. I have a really good feeling about Hex Scout, the app, which apparently is going to release later today. So guys, if you haven't been following Hex Scout on Twitter, guys, check it out. Hex Scout on Twitter. Where is he? Out. Game-changing Hex app from the creators of Hex.com, Hedron, HSI Watch. Wow. Okay. So these are all the developers that worked on Hedron and HSI Watch too. That's bullish, more bullish than ever. I didn't even realize that. I wonder if they just updated that. Today is supposed to be the launch of Hex Scout with 23 hours left. They're trying as hard as they can. And it looks like a lot of good people are involved in this one, guys. Pretty pumped up for this app. Did I buy a sailboat? No, I rented one. I rented one, but thank you. Yeah. Fatty is much better. Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Shifty Sheep. I totally forgot about this. Fatty is honestly much better. When you're trying to manage everything too, including your yield farms, including your sacrifices, if you did anything for Fiat or Famous, all your Hedron, all your NFTs. Yeah, just use fatty.io. Honestly, it's better. Now Fatty's got its own issues, right? It doesn't always load properly. Sometimes you got to refresh the page a couple times. Sometimes some of the data is still, there's always bugs with Fatty, but it does expose a lot more data, and they're constantly working on making it better. And if you do find a bug, guys, on Fatty, you can report it directly to the Fatty team on their Telegram. Hello, you lost one subscriber but gained one too. Just subscribed. Was scanning crypto channels, found this live. LFG. Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa, hey, welcome to the community. You are in the right place. Glad. I mean, if you're new here, man, where do we begin? But thank you so much for the sub, Melissa. And yeah, depending on how much effort you want to put into this ecosystem, it could change your life. It really could. It changed a lot of lives already. And in the next bull run, this is truly the place to be. I believe that with the bottom of my heart. Right place at the right time. All the right people building for the future that we want. For the reason crypto was invented. To get rid of middlemen. To give power back to the people. That's why we're all here. And everybody building in PulseChain. For the most part, obviously, there's going to be scammers. All that stuff. You can't stop somebody from building on an open, permissionless public blockchain. That's the problem. And the solution, right? But it's up to the individual to gauge for themselves and to think critically about all the new projects being launched on PulseChain. And I'm going to tell you what I think is good. I'm going to try to steer you guys in the right direction. So all the stuff that I talk about is vetted by me, who's been in crypto for 8 years. It's usually I don't promote anything if it's not audited or run by a team of people that I know and trust, or if it's forked off of existing safe code. I'm not going to be promoting some random scam coins. All right. But there's going to be a lot of those on PulseChain too. So PulseChain is the right place to be. I like HEX, PulseX, Liquid Loans. I like Famous, Fiat, Fatty. I like PHUX. But I don't just like everything that comes to PulseChain. So there's a lot of snakes out there. So just be careful. Be careful, Melissa. And welcome to the club. You're in the right place. Tetra is very interesting as well. I'm having the Tetra guy on. Layer 0 for the win. So I know a guy that's building basically Tetra on Ethereum, and it's really cool. It's a really cool project, and I'm talking to Stu next week on Saturday. We've got a live stream scheduled on Saturday of next weekend, and we're going to be talking about Tetra. What it is basically drag and drop automations. So imagine you have a screen, right? You imagine you have a screen in front of you, and you drag and drop little blocks on the screen to do all these complicated crypto transactions for you. So a lot of people, what they like to do is they'll do complicated strategies that involve multiple transactions. For example, they might have a yield farm that every time they mint 10 INC, they want to harvest the INC, swap the INC for PulseChain, and then add the PulseChain back to the yield farm, right? That's relatively simple, but it still takes a human being to go in there and monitor every time they make some INC. They got to harvest it, swap it, take the PulseChain, add to the liquidity pool, and do it all over again. And that takes time, and it takes gas, and it takes energy, and you have to be at your computer. So what Tetra does is it sets up automations for you that you can just drag and drop to do these crypto automations and automate that whole process so that you can go on vacation. You could be surfing in Hawaii, and you know that your Tetra automation is automatically recompounding and rebalancing your yield farms every time you hit your threshold. And that's just one of many infinite examples, because it's going to connect every PulseChain protocol to every other PulseChain protocol. Eventually, hopefully, it'll even connect to other blockchains as well. I know it'll probably plug into bridges and all that stuff too. So With Staker, you can buy ETH to put directly into your external wallets, which is wild. Yep, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. There's it's limiting though as well, right? Because you can't do anything Hedron related with your stakes. You have to recover that wallet on a different wallet. So I still use MetaMask actually for my personal, all my personal finances. I use MetaMask. I do use Staker for the visualization aspect of it. Staker to me is a great portfolio visualizer. I use it to monitor when all my stakes are coming due. It's got alerts on it. So that's a nice feature about Staker app, is that you can have your phone notify you when your stake comes due, so you're not late. Because as we know, you get late fees if you stake late. If you end your stake late, you pay late fees. Do not disrespect Captain RG3. Who's disrespecting Captain RG3? I'm not. Joe Mama? Joe Mama, I don't know what you're talking about. Are we getting into fights in chat here? Oh, Melissa, you found one of the best people in crypto. Thank you, Brandon. Yeah. Imagine just stumbling into this channel, not knowing, just searching for crypto content. Is it a good time to buy? The answer is yes. In my opinion, not financial advice, not financial advice. In my humble opinion, all I will say is that I'm buying. Do you like Power City? Yeah. I used to be skeptical of them, but they've, I mean, how could you not like Power City? Like, they're doing so much, and they seem to be actually legitimate professionals out here. You got Jesse, KP, so many. I'm blanking on names right now. You've got the guy doing Pixel Park. Shit, what's his name? He's an NFT aficionado. I don't know, guys. It's a team of professionals that they've been working on these projects for a long, long time, and they're building a suite of, I think, 6 or 7 different projects. Portal X swap, amazing bridge. We need that. Earn protocol. It's kind of cool if you want to take loans on your PulseX. I don't really plan on using it, but a lot of people might. Pixel Park, apparently they have some pretty good connections with the NFT community. So if we can bridge over some NFT communities into PulseChain, that's insanely bullish for PulseChain, right? And the Pixel Park guys, allegedly, from the rumors I hear, they're talking to the real blue chip, some of the real OG blue chip NFT guys over on Ethereum. So if they could issue some cool native NFTs over on PulseChain and build up the hype for those communities, guys, it's Bull City over here. What else is Power City doing? I mean, they've got the Watt token. I did not sacrifice for it. Full disclosure, I did not buy their token. I don't plan on buying their token, but to the people that did, I hope it does well. I don't think it'll do bad. I just don't think it. I think other coins will do better, but it definitely it has a future for sure. Okay, don't forget to like. Yep. Power City's epic and epic team approved. Yep, they've basically gained everyone's trust, and they weren't when they were newcomers. Yeah, a lot of people were skeptical, especially me. I didn't know any of them offhand, but they've really proven themselves, and I think that what they're building is going to be net positive for all of our bags. As long as you're holding PulseChain, HEX, and PulseX, and some other tokens too, like they're on your team, I think. Pulseburden.com, swiftest way to onboard a newcomer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Crypto Artie, yeah, that's a good point. So if anybody's looking how to buy PulseChain, just go to plsburn.com. So that's actually spelled wrong. I'm going to hide that. plsburn.com. plsburn.com. So yeah, you can buy Pulse right from there. The only thing I'll say about that is that the fees are more expensive. So that's what you should be telling people, right? They can take the easy route and transfer Ethereum or whatever coin directly for PulseChain, but they're going to pay, I think, a 10% fee, or maybe an 8%, 9% fee. Now, depending on how much money they have, that might be a lot, right? If they're coming in with $100, it might make no difference because the gas fees from okay. Let me put it to you this way. There's an easy way and a hard way to get into PulseChain right now. The easy way is you just use the on-ramp from plsburn.com. But the easy way costs a 10% fee. Okay. The hard way is a 4-step process where you go from your exchange to MetaMask to the bridge to PulseX. That's 4 steps. And it costs like 2 or 3 gas fees. But those 2 or 3 gas fees are still, depending on how much money you have, those gas fees are often cheaper than the transaction fee that you're going to get from plsburn.com. So trade-offs right now, right? It's trade-offs. If you're putting in $10,000, you might just want to do it the hard way and pay lower fees. But if you're putting, if you're putting in $100 and a 10% fee is going to be the same either way, if a 10% fee is going to equal what you would pay in gas doing the complicated way, then just do it the easy way. You know what I mean? So, new subscriber right here. Thank you. Hey, thank you guys. That feels good. I love it when the numbers go up. To use Aurochs, yeah, I've heard Aurochs is great. I might have to switch to Aurochs because I might start using Aurochs just because, Randy swears by it, and I trust that guy. But also, they have gasless transactions. They're truly non-custodial, right? Meaning you hold your own private keys. So it's the way crypto is supposed to be. But that said, Atomic Wallet was a non-custodial wallet, and they got hacked the other day. And people lost millions of dollars for holding their money on Atomic Wallet because Atomic Wallet, for whatever reason, stole a bunch of people's private keys somehow. I don't know how that happened. If it's a non-custodial wallet, it clearly was not. Clearly there was a back door or something. So I trust MetaMask because it's the longest running, tried and true, never been hacked wallet type of thing. But I also trust Aurochs, just not quite. Like it hasn't quite reached the standard. But you know what? You can probably use Aurochs with Ledger too, right? So if you can use Aurochs with Ledger, then I'd feel pretty comfortable using it. It's been running for years now. I haven't heard of anybody losing any money from any technical failures. plsburn.com. Thank you guys. Go to this website right here. Just beware that if you're putting in $1,000 or more, it might be cheaper just to go the complicated way and pay less fees. Price of eHedron holding up at 3.5 and Icosa is holding up at 8, almost 9 cents. Beetroot also gives you promo discounts that PLS Burn doesn't. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you can check out Beetroot. They're also a privacy solution. They've got a token. I'm not buying the token, but it's interesting for privacy. Allegedly, I've never used it. Beetroot, the protocol. But yeah, they've got some privacy solutions for you. So check out Beetroot if you want to learn more about that. Just be careful. I haven't really fully vetted it yet. But yeah. I've been on the site 100 times. Must be the pool. PLS Burn and Accrued INC, my 2 favorite sites. Yeah, that's right, Artie. I love those sites. Can PPEP... How fun? How crazy do I sound when I say this sentence? Can PPEP attract the ePepe community over to PulseChain? I hope so. I hope so. PPEP and ePepe. Yeah, so it looks like there's an effort for some of the Pepe guys to come over to PulseChain right now. I mean, Pepe coin is trading on PulseChain. Again, I'm not telling anyone to go buy this. I think this coin is stupid. Sorry if that offends anybody. But yeah, it's trading over on PulseChain right now for 7 zeros and a 1-2. Let's duplicate this. Let's see what it's trading for on Ethereum. Pepe trading for 5 zeros and a 1. So it's trading for about 20 times cheaper on PulseChain than it is on Ethereum. We'll see. We'll see if the community has what it takes. I mean, the community is more than welcome to go back the value of their Pepe coin over on PulseChain too. All the meme coins, I think, are probably the most likely to shift over to PulseChain, if anybody, because I don't think meme coins really care about having an allegiance to any particular chain. They're just in it for the lols. They're in it for the memes, and they just want the number to go up. So if they think that they can pump the price over on a new chain, and all the Pepe holders before May 15th got a free copy of their Pepe for free, I think they're pretty likely to try to pump it up on both chains. So that's just my opinion on that. It's going to be harder for some of the OG blue chip, I really highly doubt that Aave or Compound or Yearn Finance are going to hop on over to PulseChain. They're not going to jump ship anytime soon because PulseChain is not the mainstream, right? PulseChain is basically the counterculture of crypto. PulseChain's not the suit and tie wearing VC funded crazy, basically meet the new boss, same as the old boss type of deal. PulseChain is real DeFi, real crypto the way it was supposed to be. And that scares a lot of people. Not to mention developers just have a lot of pride and they have too much pride to switch over and flip their allegiance sometimes to a brand new blockchain. And for good reason sometimes too. I mean, it's a new blockchain. It's only a month old. Okay. We can't just expect everyone to come on over to a 1 month old blockchain right away. We've got to prove ourselves first. Okay. So we got to be here for maybe a year or two before the big dogs really start shifting over to PulseChain. But NFT communities, meme coin communities, they don't care. They just want to go where the money's at, right? Yield farmers, they don't care at all. They're going to go where the getting's good. Crypto Artie, thank you so much for the tip. Thank you so much for the tip, dude. He says, that's for helping me out the other day with fiat on PulseChain. Coffee is a helper and a gem in our community. Grateful to you, Crypto Artie. Thank you so much, man. That's really generous, bro. Yeah, no problem. Helping you out with fiat. Yeah, I hope everyone got their free coins if you sacrificed for fiat. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. PHEX is at 1.4 cents. That's great to see. So both together, it's about 2.4 cents. People are asking me about total garbage coins in the chat. I'm not going to even acknowledge that. Let's see. Artie, thanks, man. That's really, really nice, bro. Coffee, it's been brought to my attention that the RH ecosystem has the most amount of people named Matt in the entire world. It's a common name, bro. I think it's 90s babies, you know? A lot of 90s babies. Those Bible names, Matt, John, Luke. Matthew, John, Luke, and what else? Matt, John, Luke. Oh, Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The OG apostles, baby. If anyone's Christian out there. I am from Greece. I am sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. Don't be sad, Helena. It's okay. The bull market's going to come back. Everything's going to be okay. Someone's got a question. Is it too late to mint my fiat on PulseChain? I forgot I said. Nope. Not too late at all, bro. Go ahead and do it. Hop on over to fatty.io. Go do it right now. Yeah, the price of fiat is pretty good too. Let me see. Yeah, if you mint your fiat right now, you basically doubled your money at least. Almost tripled. Because basically the sacrifice price was 12 cents. And right now it's trading at 30 cents. So if you did sack for fiat, you're maybe 2.5x on your money right now on the PulseChain side. Okay. So go do it. Go do it, boys and girls. Some unrealistic price predictions to make me feel good. Yeah, sure. Let's see. Well, let's pull some numbers out of our ass, shall we? I think PulseChain could easily do 1000x. So what would that put it at from its low? 5 cents? Would that be 5 cents? 1, 2. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if the low was 4 zeros and a 5, then 5 cents would be 1000x. I think we would say 5 cents for Pulse and 1 penny for PulseX. That sounds realistic. You want unrealistic? $1 Pulse and 50-cent PulseX. That's unrealistic for you. No, I think they're all going to do well, man. I think they're all going to do well. Dear Jeebus, pump our bags. Lol. Thank you, bro. Going to look up how to mint it. Hey, I wish you the maddest of gains. Don't forget Ringo and Paul. How come PulseX and PHEX are not showing up in MetaMask? You got to add them yourself. Here, that's a good question. So go to lightbeam.xyz and you're going to get all your coins added. So here's a tool, guys, in the chat. Mel Tony. Lightbeam.xyz is going to search for all the tokens that you have on the blockchain, and it's going to automatically add all of the tokens to your MetaMask, and it's going to add all the logos too. So you're going to have all your pretty little logos, all your coin balances. You'll find them all. You'll find them all there. Or you can there's also a coin checker on pulsechain.com as well. But I like Lightbeam a little bit better. It's a little more faster. Shout out to Gerardo. Thanks for that one, Gerardo. Easiest way to buy Pulse right now? Only have PulseX from SAC. So this is a good question as well. I already covered 2 ways you could buy it. You can go to plsburn.com and swap one of your other crypto coins directly for Pulse, but you're going to be taking like a 10% fee. So not ideal. if you only need a little bit of pulse, you can go to eth2pulse.com. That's eth2pls.com. And that's going to get you enough. You can send ETH directly for PLS. It costs a little bit of a fee, but you get enough pulse to pay for gas. If you want to buy a lot of pulse, like it's like $1,000 or more, like if you're serious about buying a lot of pulse, you got to go to your exchange, get some Ethereum from the exchange, go to uniswap.com, swap your Ethereum for wrapped pulse on Uniswap, bridge the wrapped pulse into PulseChain using the bridge, and then go to PulseX.com and then buy, and then there it is. It's just sitting right there. So, but yeah, there's all kinds of ways. They're a little complicated right now, but by the time it's easy, then the price will probably be a lot higher. So if you're getting in now when it's still complicated and still hard to get around, imagine when all the innovations comes 1 or 2 years from now. Imagine how high the price will be. Thank you to Coffee and other HEX influencers for keeping us going. Yeah, no problem. I'm just your RH. I'm your RH light. Not as good as the real thing, but hey, I do my best. Is RH ever going to live stream again? We miss him. I know. I miss him too. We know he's alive and well. We know he's working on all the right stuff for PulseChain. I think he'll, you know what? Here's what I think. I mean, he's okay. I can almost be certain that he will live stream again in the future at some point, but he was live streaming like crazy when HEX launched and the price went down anyway. So I don't think that him live streaming is affecting the price too much. And I feel like he's learned from the past. This was Big Pep's take, actually. And he's learned from the past. He's like, well, I wasted so much time live streaming during the HEX launch. I should have just been focused on behind the scenes stuff, making the infrastructure better. Because it's not like him live streaming saves the price. Dumpers are going to dump. Short-term profit takers are going to take short-term profit however they can. I'm telling you guys, when any new project launches, there's always a dump like clockwork every single time. And that's because anyone that got in the pre-sale or in the early rounds, some of them aren't going to be long-term holders. Some of them just want to get rid of their bags. They just want to dump their coins. And so there's always a sell-off, 1 to 2 or maybe 3 months after launch. Now, HEX bottomed 33 days after launch. PulseChain bottomed 77 days after launch, I believe. And I'm sorry, HEX bottomed 33 days after launch. Ethereum bottomed 77 days after launch. PulseChain will likely bottom somewhere in between that, maybe 45 days after launch, maybe in 2 more weeks from now. Who knows? Maybe it already bottomed. There's a good chance that it could have already bottomed. But either way, I think what Richard realizes is that it doesn't matter what he says on live streams. The sellers are going to sell either way. So he's intensely focused on making the protocol better. Again, adding privacy, adding more INC farms, adding auto router to Uniswap. All really good stuff. And I think he'll live stream when he's ready. It just might take him 3 or 4 more months. So yeah, we all miss good old Richard, Mr. Hart. Just want to see Richard live stream and reactivate his spinning watch collection. I know. I miss it, man. Tommy Vibe says, you're the man. You're the man, Tommy Viles. Thank you, sir. Guys, I've been streaming for an hour 13. I got 300 viewers here. Thank you for all joining me in the bottom of the bear market. I know it's hard, right? But just think about all the good stuff we've got going on. We've got the perfect storm in the macro. Everything's gearing up for another bull market in 2024. CPI is lower. Inflation is going to come down. Rates are going to get cut later on in 24. BlackRock's buying a bunch of Bitcoin. Gary Gensler, pray to God, gets fired. We're going to have a new election. Let's hope somebody pro-crypto gets elected. China just unbanned crypto again. Singapore, Hong Kong just put in a new regulations for pro-crypto. So we're at this weird time where actually the East is pro-crypto and the West is struggling. In the past, it's always been the opposite. The West has been, the pro-crypto, pro-innovation, and China was always the one banning it over and over again. How the turntables have turned. And then in the micro, in our little ecosystem, we've got Liquid Loans, PulseChain, Pixel Park, Ethereum, Earn Protocol. We've got 0x Coast, stablecoins coming out right now. Fatty, Famous, PHUX, Fiat with a PH. All these protocols, all building the infrastructure right now. All building the infrastructure. Then, of course, Hex Scout coming up today. Keep an eye out for Hex Scout. And finally, guys, the actual protocol, the PulseX PulseChain development updates as well. Auto router, more farms, go.hex.com improvements, and privacy coming to PulseChain. Pretty awesome, guys. If you look around and you realize what's coming in the pipeline, I don't see how you could not be bullish on this ecosystem. I know the prices are down. I know it sucks, but you're buying the dip or you're not. You're getting shaken out. Try to think long term. Think about more than just next cycle. Think about 10 years from now. Think about when the world shifts to totally crypto. When you can buy crypto with a cup, when you can buy a cup of coffee with crypto, we might not even care so much about the US dollar price by that point, right? You just want to get your bags and be part of the future rather than waiting from the sidelines and be an early adopter, not a laggard, okay? And Tetra to automate it all. There you go. There you go. And the Highest of Stakes documentary coming out. What a good recap, guys. What a good recap. So much fucking stuff. Oh my God. There's so much shit coming out, man. It blows my mind. Loving the dip. Loving the dip. You're buying or crying. I'm buying. Am I a fan of combat sports at all? Will you be watching UFC? I don't watch UFC, but I've done Muay Thai for, I did 3 years of Muay Thai, so I know a little bit. I'm a lover, not a fighter, boys. But it's good to know a little bit about how, if worst case scenario. It's a pleasure, Crypto Coffee. From the bottom of the bear to the top of the bull. That's right. I'll be here the whole time. Crypto Coffee, 100% uptime. Never been hacked over here. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.